Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with a quick video. I hope it will be quick. This is actually inspired by Mandy over at Sunflowers and Dors on YouTube. She is also part of the, she's an admin on the Junk Journal and Ideas and Inspiration Facebook group. So I hope that you will check her out. But she did, and I think she learned it from Tina over at Shabby Dabby Doodah. But I'm going to go ahead and do it myself. So I really, I don't usually go 6 inches wide with anything in my journals. And when you use this 12 by 12 paper, you're going to get a result that is 6 inches wide, and that's too wide for my journal. So in my prototype, and this will make more sense as we go along, but in my prototype I went ahead and cut off an inch off of the side so that it will fit in my journal. This is 5 inches wide, and I believe it is, let me just get my ruler here, it's 5 inches wide and it is 6 inches tall, and that the height is fine, but this is what it looks like. So basically you've got a tuck here, and then you have this thing that flips open, and you could put a pocket in here, or you could yeah, you could do whatever you want in there. You can't use that though because that folds up, but I'm going to show you how to do it, and then I'm going to make one for my for the love of blue journal. That's for my sister, because I was really out there searching for another different kind of an insert that I could put in her journal, because I've got her signature has her journal has 3 signatures, a 3-inch spine, so I have lots of room in between the signatures, front, back, and in between each of them, to put other little inserts and such. So I'm going to go ahead and make one for that. So I've got that ready. So what you do, basically, no real tools are needed other than some glue. I'm not going to decorate this one. I'm just going to show you how it's made. And this is just, this is some glitter paper from the craft store. I'm going to try to pull this sticker off. Hold on. I'm trying to remember which way I want this to go, so hold on. I didn't play around a lot with it, so I want to make sure that I've got the paper that I want to have showing on the outside. So if we were to take this back to its original state, which is this, then what I have showing is what's on the back. So if I want this to show, then I would want this on the, no, I would want this way, so that this is what folds up. Nope, I want this to show, so I'm going to flip it over. Goodness gracious, this will make more sense in a second, but this is what it looks like when you've got it all laid out. So I've got some instructions. She did a great job on her little tutorial, very, very clear, and so I'm going to follow her to the T. So basically what you do is you take your 12 by 12 paper, and you're going to fold it in half this way. My camera is sitting too close to my face. I'm going to go ahead and shift it up a little bit. I can't really get over this to see that it's even, Steven. So I'm going to fold that. This is a little bit of a thicker paper, but it's going to be okay. What happens sometimes when your paper is too thick, though, is you'll get some extra buckling and interference with your folds, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. So you fold it that way, and then you're going to fold it this way, and in the same fashion. So give it a good burnish, especially if your paper is super thick, which this glitter paper is. So I hope you guys are doing okay. I have off from work today because it's a teacher work day, and I'm a paraeducator, so I don't have to work today, which is epic. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take this lower corner and you're going to fold it up. I would suggest about until you're probably about an inch and a quarter or so, but it doesn't have to be precise, so I'm just going to do it about there. I'm just kind of eye-spying. I can see this line here, so I'm just eye-spying that to make sure that it is nice and straight. And then you can kind of visually look at it. That looks to be pretty good to me. I'm going to go ahead and burnish that really well as well. And then on the opposite corner, so this corner, I'm going to turn it and I'm going to fold that triangle in, but not as much. So I'm going to fold it in about that much. So leaving approximately, it looks like maybe 2 3/4 inches in, or left here. But it's not an exact science, you guys. Just you want this one to be smaller is really the point. So then you're going to turn your turn it like this, so you've got your large triangle on the bottom right, your small triangle on the upper left, and then you're going to turn this and we're going to cut along this line. I found it really helpful when I was doing my prototype to go ahead and just put a little bit of ink on this so that I can see that line when I cut, because I have a hard time with that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for this. So I'm going to go ahead and just open that back up, grab my scissors, hoping that this is the right way so that my paper is going to show where the kind of part of the paper that I want to show is going to show. I don't do backwards very well, so as many of you know. There we go. So turn it back over, and then what you're going to do is you're going to have this. So again, you're back in the same position where your larger triangle is on the lower right, your small triangle is on the upper left. You're going to fold this over. Oh, that was backwards. Okay, so we're just going to change our folds. That's okay. It was backwards. So I'm going to reverse this because I want that glitter on the outside. So no harm, no foul. I would be cautious if you were using a thinner paper and changing your mind. So that, oh, except now we're on the wrong fold. Are we? No, we're not. Oh, and then we have to change that too. We have to burnish everything the opposite direction. No big deal. So I'm going to do that as well. This last fold, I had a feeling that was going to happen like that. Okay, so now we're still there. But now we're backwards. Let's just see. This might just be that we've got our pocket going on the opposite side. So hers was on the other side, and that's just because I just flipped that. No big deal. So there we go. It is a little bit chunky, and I can feel it. But it's pretty darn straight. We've got a little bit of an edge here on the top, which I will probably just get my scissors and trim that off a little bit. And that's just because of the bulk of the paper. Not a big deal at all. Just trying to cut semi-straight-ish. And then, as I mentioned before, I don't want this. So this is backwards, though, because that means it's going to go on a page. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. If it goes on a left page, your tucks are going to be, or it could go on a right page, too. But, nope, that's not going to work. Oh, darn it. I messed this up. So, okay, it still would work. If you put it in as an insert, it's not going to matter, because what I really want is for this to be able to open so I can put some pockets and some other fun stuff in there. So it's just opposite of what she did, not a big deal. So the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and glue these pockets, or these flaps down. So I'm going to grab my white glue in the little bit bigger bottle, and I'm just going to glue this down really quick. But I hope that you will go over and check out Mandy. She did a fantastic job on this project. I found it really funny because I think her and I are very similar in some ways. Like, she's like, these things rarely turn out for me the very first time, you know, like trying a new thing, and I feel exactly the same way. So I was sympathizing with her as I was watching, but she did a great job explaining it. It made complete sense, and she did it over and over again, which is also really nice, because if you miss it on the first go, you can catch it again on the next example. So she did a great job. So I hope that you'll check her out. I will link her down in the video description, her channel. Really, really nice lady. There we go. Okay. It's not holding down very well. Let me just give that a good press. There we go. Okay, so let's get back to this. So we have this, And we have this, and then this folds behind. It's kind of playing games with my mind because it's opening the opposite way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my cutter out, and I'm going to go ahead and cut off an inch off of this edge because I don't want it to be 6 inches. So I'm getting out the monster cutter. This is the Fiskars Precision Cutter, and I am absolutely in love. It cuts through so many things. It's crazy. So I'm just lining this up to the 5-inch mark, which you guys can't see on the top end. It's here. So I'm just cutting off about 1 inch. There we go. Get this mama out of the way. So that's what she looks like. So now she's going to fit nicely into my journal, so into the Love of Blue journal. So that is that. So then what the option that you have here is you can go ahead and what we're going to do is glue this shut because I want that to be a pocket. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac this time because I think because this paper is so thick. Goodness, I've got this paper towel down in here that's making a mess. Okay. So because this paper is so thick, I had trouble with those flaps. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Fabri-Tac this time. So I'm just going to run a bead of that here all the way down. I don't need to worry about the bottom, I don't think. And yeah, I think that's right. Let's see. Got some glue getting out there. So then that means when this is closed, oh, we also need to do that edge. We need to do this edge too. Well, no. Yeah, we need to do, okay, so there and there. So we need to do this side. Nope, we're leaving that open. So no, we need to do this edge right here though. Just this bit from here to the bottom. I'm going to use the white glue this time just because I can get in there a little bit easier with this nozzle. I'm just going to go up to that point. And just go ahead and give that a press. Get the oozing glue out. And then I'm going to go ahead and put another bead right here in this little section. What I really liked is when Mandy did it, sorry about that noise out there. When Mandy did it, she did various different kinds of designs with this as far as what she was gluing and what she was leaving open. I love that. So, oh, wait a minute. Oh, there we go. So, I'm thinking that we want that open because that's going to make a bigger opening. I think that's going to be okay. I didn't ink anything. So let me see if I can do that now because that was kind of silly. I want that brownish tinge to it. If I can't get into all the places, I'm not gonna fret about it. I'm not gonna decorate this one. Well, I should probably decorate this one because it's gonna be easier than the other one, but I will decorate this off camera for myself. So let me see if I can get some ink in there. Yeah, not too bad. I just unglued that though, so I'm gonna have to press that down again. Not a big deal. It'd be helpful if I stayed on camera though, huh? There we go. So that is our, I'm calling them a, what did I say they were? A multiple pocket fold out because you've got multiple pockets. So you basically have, you have 1-2 pockets here, and then we're going to put some stuff on the inside as well when I decorate this. But again, not doing that today. So that is that. And you could obviously tie this off some way, but I'm not going to think about that right now. So this is the one that I want to make for my sister's journal. So I pulled a bunch of the ephemera that I've been gathering for her journal, and this is the paper that I'm going to use. It's the blue on the back, which is what I want to have show. So again, if I do that with my corners, then that is going to show. So I don't want that. I want it the other way. So we may discover that this is wrong again, and that is okay. So we're going to go ahead and fold this. I think I'm going to fold it this way. I'd rather the writing was sideways rather than upside down, although we may end up with a surprise. with that too. So I'm just gonna fold that in half again, folding that 12 by 12 exactly in half. This paper isn't as thick. This actually was sent to me. I had a friend from the East Coast who followed me, and she sent me a bunch of scrapbook paper in a couple of years ago, and oh my goodness, this was some of the paper that was in it, if I remember correctly. And I love it. It's kind of got a canvasy feel to it. So there we go. So again, if we want this to go, I just folded it the wrong way. Let's fold it both ways. Again, I don't do backwards very well, you guys, so I hope that you'll bear with me. I mean, this side wouldn't be awful. So whichever way it ends up going, I'll just go with it. So if we fold this up, fold that down, and we cut there, then this is going to go like that. So it's going to be that side. I think I'm going to change my mind on the part that I'm folding. This isn't too bad. It's got some blue. I could definitely bring the blue out in this design with my ephemera, I think. So let's just do this. So I'm going to fold that up. I'm not measuring at all. I'm just estimating what looks straight. Giving that a good burnish there. And then turning this, and I'm going with a smaller triangle on this side. And again, just I spying that this looks straight. Of course, you could measure. I'm not a measurer. So then you turn this like this so that this square is up here, because when this folds, this is going to fold over. So that's not really what I wanted, but I think it's going to be okay. Except now we're upside down. This is upside down, which you can't really avoid with this kind of thing. I'm going to try it the other way and see if I like it better. Just trying to just see what we've got here. It's not a big deal. So again, we're here, and then when that gets cut, then this is going to fold, then that's upside down. So I'm going to go this way. Anytime you do a project like this, you run that risk of having text and other designs upside down. So you want to keep that in mind when you're doing this project. Just cutting up that seam there, that fold, all the way to the center fold. And so then what you have is you're going to fold this over like so. I'm going to fold this up like so. Oh, I really like that, actually. And like that. Beautiful. So we still have some crookedness here. So I'm just going to straighten that lower edge, and I'm going to burnish this again. And then we're going to go ahead and do some trimming here. I'm going to bring the big cutter over one more time. I'm going to cut this down to, I could probably do this at 5 inches, technically, because, or 5.5. So let's see if I want to just take a 1/2 inch off this time. Make this, because that would work. Yeah, that would work. 5.5 would work. So let's just take a little bit off of this one instead of a whole inch. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. It's a lot of layers to go through, so I'm really having to use my body to hold everything in place. There we go. So that is 5.5 inches. I think that will be okay. Yep, 5.5. And then how are we on the top? I'm going to trim it just a bit on the top as well. You just want to make sure that you don't have any seams going on there. We don't. Those are all open edges. So I'm going to do this again and just cut a little bit off the top just to straighten that out. This cutter is amazing for thick materials though, and for just the most minuscule little piece that you need to take off. It is super accurate. It's awesome. So I love that, and it's opening the right way. The text is not upside down, so that's a bonus. So again, we're going to go ahead and glue our flaps down. So I'm going to open that up, glue these down. I'm going to use my Fabric-Tac. I think Oh, but we're going to go ahead and ink first this time. Save myself a headache. We're going to decorate this one, I hope. I have a hard time using my 12 by 12 paper because I'm a matchy person when it comes to making journals, and so it's a little harder for me to improvise and figure out a way to use the scrapbook papers in my junk journal. I have done it, but it's a challenge. It's not my preferred thing to do. So there's that. It's very bulky, but not a big deal. It's going to just be an insert in the journal, so it's not going to be a problem at all. So I'm going to also ink this edge up here. This is what's going to show. And then let's see what else we've got here. So this gets folded in, this gets folded up, and this gets folded over. So everything is inked that is visible. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue these shut. That's interesting. We've got extra. I didn't even notice that before. We've got extra on this edge here because we cut that down, but it's not going to be a problem because it's not going to show. So not a big deal. That works a lot better than the white glue on this heavier paper. Okay. Perfect. So again, that folds over, this folds up, and this folds back. So we are back where we want it to be. So now I want to think about the sections that we need to glue shut. And I still am thinking these two sides are probably the most logical. I'm going to use the white glue again just for precision. I'm getting the smaller bottle out so that I can control the flow a little bit. There we go. Press that down. And then we're going to do the same with this one. It's a pretty big pocket, so I'm not too concerned about taking any of the landscape up there that is happening. So that is that. So now let's go ahead and open her up, and we are going to do, oh, we wanted to glue this though too, didn't we? Yes, we do. Again, the small bottle. I'm just going to pull that back and just glue this. Make sure that, yeah, there we go. Don't want to be on that fold. It doesn't take much white glue. It's actually pretty darn good. So again, going to get my paper towel, press that down. There we go. Okay, so that our writing here is going sideways, but I'm okay with that. So let me show you what I have for ephemera and such. So I need to be able to make a pocket. And because I only had one piece of this paper, I don't have any paper to make a pocket out of it that will actually go with it. But I thought this would be really pretty, just to put this little bird. Oh, that would be gorgeous there. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and put a thumb notch in this. Just a small one because I don't want to take away from that title there too much. Go ahead and ink this up. Perfect shade of yellow here. Kind of a goldish yellow. So we might be okay. Okay, so there's our little pocket. Oh, that's so pretty. So let's go ahead and glue this on. Yeah. I believe that this postcard is from My Porch Prince. I used some of their papers for her journal. They're one of my favorite Etsy sellers. So what to do with this side though, because I really want something else over here. We could do a belly band, which would be really pretty, but with what? With what? With what would we make a belly band? A belly band. We could use this kind of on that crinkly side. So I'm going to get my little cutter out here, play around with this. Just going to cut it all along, just right on that raggedy edge, so I can get that cool rough edge there, like that. And then we will make our belly band. It's a pretty small area, so I'm going to make the belly band about, let's see, how about 2.5 inches? That looks good. And then our height is still 6 inches, I believe. Let me just check. Is it? It's just under 6 inches because we must have trimmed it a little bit off the top. I'm just going to fake it here and just, I'm going to cut off this edge for sure. I want that rough design on the top, and then I'm going to make a mark with my pencil to know where to cut this other part here. So getting it up there. There we go. Normally I prepare all my ephemera before I turn on the camera, but I thought I would do something a little bit different today. So yeah, let's just ink it up. This is beautiful paper. This is from one of the kits that I'm using, I believe. I think it's from the journal boat, and I'm using her blue memento kit. So that is beautiful. We can do a cluster on this for sure. Let me see if I've got anything right here to make one with. I'm going to grab my little bag of ephemera. I don't have a lot of scraps at this point. This is ephemera, so I may have to cut into ephemera to do this. I'm just going to dump this out here on my table. And I'm off camera. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Too bad it's not longer. Do we have anything else that would go there? That would be pretty. Oh, the hydrangeas are gorgeous too. I think we'll use this as a card to slip in though. And what else do we have here that will slip into that belly band? So we've got this beautiful little bird. So that will be pretty. This bird will also be pretty. But I'm probably going to tear up a piece of this stuff to make a belly, make a cluster. So, or I'll just search for some blue bits in my scrap bin. Let me move my tea. I've had quite the cough this morning. Thought I was over it. Clearly not. So I'm just fishing in here and seeing what I can find in the blue. Ooh, there's a blue butterfly right there. Perfect, look at that. I could not have planned that better. So we will put that as the focal point there, and we will use some blue paper scraps to make a cluster. You guys have been watching me, you know I love my clusters. They are so satisfying. We've got that. Let's get a piece of some script paper. Maybe I can find something here. This would also be really cool. This would be fine. Piece of script. going to tear that top off. Just kind of ink as we go here. Trying to keep this kind of short and sweet. We'll see how that goes. Sometimes I get yakking and I end up taking more time. This is my catch-up video day because I literally had no videos scheduled, which is unusual for me. Oh, that's lovely. And then, but our butterfly is going to be, could do like that. That would be really pretty. Let's do one more piece of something under here, maybe some tea stain paper. Here's some tea stain paper. We don't want that pink bit though. I don't want any pink in this. I'm just kind of looking at this to see what my width needs to be. And that looks to be good. So as I've mentioned before, if you are uncomfortable making clusters, I have an entire cluster playlist. I absolutely love making them. And so you could check that out if you want to see how I do that. They're my favorite thing to do. One of my favorites. Just gluing these down. Just kind of building a cluster here in the center of the belly band. I do want a little piece of lace there. So let me see if I've got some of the lace I've used in the journal here. I've got this piece, which is absolutely perfect. Couldn't have planned that better either. I just used this on the cover of the blue journal, so you guys will have to check that video out. I haven't decided what order I'm putting these up on the channel yet, but it's the one that says cover, signature, cover, cover, yeah, just cover for the Love of Blue journal is what the title of the video will be. So that's pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac now that I've got that lace down. And we're just going to kind of go, I don't care if it's very much of that lace is showing, I just want a little bit peeking out. And then we'll put that on there. I'm curious how this butterfly is actually going to go on here because it's a pretty big butterfly. And I don't know how that sticker material is going to go on there, but we're going to give it a try. I'm going to see if I have success at pulling this away. I always fight with it. Seriously, fight with it. So let's see. My nails do not help me at all in this case. There we go. Not too bad. Win-win. So we're just going to put that butterfly right there in the center of that cluster. I love it. The only thing I don't like about the stickers is you can see that they're a sticker. So I wonder if you really just press it down where it's showing, if that helps, just to kind of burnish that. And maybe it makes it a little bit less visible. I'm not sure. It's the only thing I don't like about using stickers is they show oftentimes. Is that better? A little bit. It's all right. So that is a beautiful belly band right there. So we're going to stick that on top and bottom. This is fun. I am going to make, I watched Marie France over on her channel. She got the courage up and is starting to post on her channel, and it's marvelous. You guys should check her out. But anyway, she made a reference journal, and I've heard of people doing that before, but I've never made one, and I'm going to make one, and it's going to be in box fashion. So it's going to be a cover that, you know, you have your spine, you have your top cover, and you have your bottom cover, and then you have another side over here that will fold over to the top. So the top piece won't be the full width of the journal, and it'll have a clasp and stuff. So it will be, I think, more durable for holding reference stuff. So basically a reference journal is a place for you to put your makes so that you always have a sample of the things that you have, done. So I love that idea. Again, I've seen other people do it, but I've never done it myself. So I'm going to go ahead and round the corners of this journal card. I think I'm going to round this one as well. Actually, that's probably going to go in another place in the journal, so I don't want to do anything with that. Will this fit? This is going to have to get trimmed just a little bit to fit. That's okay. Like I say, use your ephemera the way that you want to use it. It does not have to stay in its original form. I mean, obviously, if it's not your design, you can't. There's certain things that you can't do with it. So you want to make sure that you are honoring the copyright that's associated with the digital kit that you bought, but you can certainly cut it down and do whatever you want in that regard. So just ink in the back as well. I think we need a word on our little butterfly though. Let's see if I've got something that will work. So we're going to slide that in there. Actually, maybe this one can go this way. Yes, perfect. I'm going to slide that bird in there after we ink it. I do know this one is from my Porch Prints. I recognize it. I've used so much of their digitals. It's fantastic. She's an incredible creator. She's got a good team over there. I think her daughter and her husband support her in her business. There we go. Love that. Shall we put one more in? We've got plenty of ephemera. So I think this one we're just going to leave square. Put that one in sideways? Sure, why not? Okay, so that's that. So now we need some things in this pocket. So we've got a lot of pieces. I've got a lot to go with here. So I'm loving this image. So I think I'm going to put that in there, but it does need to be trimmed a little bit. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just trim off all of this blue edge, and I'm just going to kind of roughly cut so that it looks like it's older. Because the lines are not exactly straight. You can see here in the original we've got that really kind of rough crumbly edge that you sometimes get with old paper. So I'm just roughly kind of trying to replicate that. Okay, so I'm going to stick that in there. Oh, isn't that lovely? Okay, we need more though. It's not enough. I'm really loving this paper, and I'm thinking that I would like to cut it down to fit in this pocket. So let me grab the little trimmer. What did I do with it? There it is. I'm going to try to cut this down a little bit and use it. Yeah, it is coffee dyed on the back, so I don't have to worry about that back being plain. Plain Jane. I'll do that, and this, because this is the other half of one of the pages in the Journal Boat kit that I'm using called Blue Memento. I am using one of her kits also for the first prize drawing for the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. It's called Autumn Garden, and I'm using that kit. It's absolutely gorgeous. So we need to kind of figure out how tall this needs to be, how much of this we're going to lose. So it doesn't matter if it sticks up. So I'm actually going to make that. Let me see how I feel about that being tall like that. I don't want it to go all the way up to the top of the bird, though. I think that would be ridiculous. So let me just cut a little bit more off, maybe just a little bit above that photo that we see there. And I'm going to go ahead and round this one. I'll probably put a little piece of lace on it to make it look pretty as a kind of a pull on the top. Sorry for that noise. I've got This is a piece of glass, which I love because I can do my mixed media on it and it cleans right off. I've never had a surface that could withstand what I do with mixed media, so I am loving it. Really, really great. So, got that. I'm going to ink the back as well. So I want to put a pull on this, so let me see what I want to use. I've got some blue lace that I have that I set aside for her journal, but I have not used it yet. So let me see if this would work. I think this would be really pretty. Actually, it would be really pretty just to do that. Let's try it. I will be using this in the journal. I just haven't used it yet. So let's set that aside and see how we feel about doing that. I almost feel like I want to do that. I think I'll do that and just let it kind of hang over that note, that piece of the note there. So let's just put some glue here. So it's not going to be a pull like I was thinking, but it just makes it look really, really pretty. So we're going to try to not lose too much of our lace here. My paper towel. Give that a press. There we go. Love it. I sure hope she likes this journal. I can't imagine that she wouldn't, but you know, you never know. Personally, I like things just, you know, if somebody makes me something, I'm gonna love it. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. Because it's made from the heart. Anything that people give us from their heart should be prized and treasured for all time, in my opinion. So there's that. So shall we just fold that over? Yeah, that makes good sense. Let's do that. Why cut it off? I am off work today, as I mentioned before, and I'm still in my pajamas. So it's a good thing I'm not getting my body in shot because I'm still in my pajamas. But that's okay, it's my day. It's my catch-up day. I'm enjoying it very much. So just pressing that down. It's a teacher work day, so I work for the school and I work as an educator, but not as a certificated teacher. So I'm just going to round that corner a little bit if I can. And then we have conferences this week, so it's short days with our students. So that's always nice. It's a nice breather for us because we work really hard with our special education kids especially. So I'm going to, I'm not going to stick this all the way in unless it sticks out. I can leave it like that. I just don't want that to get glued shut. So that is perfect and beautiful. So do we want to put a little bit of word on our little butterfly? I've got these from one of the kits. This one says love. I love that. Just like that. Just simple and easy. I love that it's in blue. It's really cool. I'm just going to put it, I think, below it. Except we're now plugged up here. Let's see what we want to do, if anything, on the front. I'm not going to stuff everything. Some of this I'll do off camera because I don't want to keep you all day. So, but now I'm feeling like I want something underneath this. So maybe we should put it on a piece of this lace. What do you think? Yeah. We could put it right on the butterfly too. Let's just do that. I like that. Okay. So that is that. The only problem with this that I don't like, I may end up putting this in another pocket because I don't like, I mean, I love that it sticks out the top, but I don't love what it looks like on the back. So we might stick this in here instead, like that. Come on. It's just sticking out a little bit. Go in this one as well. Oh goodness, you guys can't even see. Yeah, I'm liking that. I just feel like it's too tall though. I think I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom, you guys, just to have it be a little bit more in line with the size of the pocket. So I'm just going to trim off a little bit. No harm, no foul. It's not a big deal. You just kind of have to go with your gut and what you feel at the moment looks good or doesn't. And I'm just feeling like it's looking odd to me. So just going to trim that off, and that is okay. So we may just still leave this in the inside here. This is not going to show up at the top, is it? Nope. Well, it's just got a little bit, but that's okay. So I think I'm going to leave that in there. So let's see what we can do in the front really quick. Or I might just leave this. Oh, that butterfly would be gorgeous though right here. Let me ink this up and see if I like it. And I'll probably just do the rest off camera and just show you in the close-up photos at the end of the video. I often do that just because you don't need to see everything. I mean, sometimes I show everything if that's the goal of a particular series, but don't need to always do that. So I'm loving that butterfly. Really loving that butterfly. So I think I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to fuss around with this a little bit more, and you can see the close-up photos again at the end of the video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.